All right.
For the toilet, bro.
What's up, bro?
What's up, bro?
What's up, bro? It's been a while since we actually filmed.
Yeah.
What's up, everyone? We got Daniel in the house, D Nizzle.
I
What's
haven't
up,
heard that in a while, dude.
Oh, yeah. Hope everyone's been well. Let's get back into it. It's been a while since we did anything. It's been a while since we filmed in general.
Yeah.
All right,
it's been a
so
while.
topic today is which arguments in a relationship do you think is worth it? So we're just gonna go down the list. So how does an argument start between you and your wife?
It can start many things, you know?
Yeah.
It can start a lot of things, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, the couple things I could list is like, sometimes there's moments where, I go above the line and, damn, I
Don't
just
worry,
lot.
This is a safe zone. You won't get in trouble.
Nah. No, but this is facts though.
Yeah.
Because sometimes we do stupid shit.
Yeah. Agreed.
Or like stupid jokes,
Yeah.
stupid comments,
Yeah.
stupid videos,
Yeah.
sometimes, and, sometimes that could trigger an argument. Sometimes it can be something you forgot to do or something, she specifically told you that you're supposed to do this, but you forgot about it.
Yeah.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah.
But there's a lot more. There's a lot, but,
Yeah.
but those are one of the things that can trigger an argument.
For me, one of the
What do you
big.
think?
Yeah, I agree with you all. A lot of times when I do something stupid or buy something stupid,
Buy
something stupid.
That's true,
Yeah.
actually.
Like
Buy
imagine
something
if I go home with a motorcycle and he's like, yeah, I don't know, there's some guy
Hey,
selling it. And,
I'll pray for you, bro.
yeah, so yeah,
You're
something
welcome.
like that. I think one of the biggest things that starts an argument for me and my girl is say, imagine I'm busy working on, like, say I'm sitting on my desk working, right? And then she's trying to talk to me, but I'm like, she's talking to me, but I'm like, I'm in the zone doing work, right?
Right.
And then she's talking to me. Then she's like, I'm like, yeah, cool. But I'm so focused on the work or whatever. I'm doing something. We're playing
Right.
games or something.
Yeah.
And then she's like, are you even listening? I was like, yeah. And she's like, no, you're not. What did I say, bro? It's like that kind of situation. It's just like not paying attention to stuff like that. But
I
then,
agree,
But then
yeah.
I tell her like, hey, give me a second. Let me finish my work. Sometimes she's like, let me finish the thing, blah, blah. If it's really important, just let me know, like on the spot. Like, don't just start talking to me thinking that I'm be in the moment, because I'm
Right.
like focused on something else. That's usually how it starts an argument. Like, it goes back to the idea of this topic we're talking about. It's like, which arguments are, well, I don't think any argument's worth it in a relationship, but some of them, let me rephrase this. How would I say this?
Hey, be careful what you say, bro.
Yeah, the topic today is,
What
do
you
you
say,
think
bro?
any argument in a relationship is worth it? I'm going to say yes and no. No, because a lot of these arguments are pretty pointless and stupid. And
Okay.
yes, they do help you grow. So that's going to leave us into our next point. It's like, do you think an argument helps couples grow?
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, it helps you grow. Like,
Yeah.
we may think that it's like, we may think, oh, why is she like this? This is stupid. Why do I deserve it?
Yeah.
You'll think like that, but at the end of the day, like, sometimes they want you to hear you out. You know what I mean? They want you to listen to what's on their mind. What are they struggling? They, sometimes they want your help.
Yeah.
Those little things. Like, I know, like, we think it's dumb, but we have to think of it like, in their perspective. How
Yeah.
they feel. That's important, bro. How they feel, bro.
So the way I think you're trying to say it is, you're in an argument, you're learning about each other. You know what I mean? Instead
Right.
of you, because when you get into a relationship, it's no longer you by yourself; it's with another person. So trying to understand, you have to understand their point of view too.
Right.
So in an argument, when you clashing or like throwing fists and stuff,
Sorry.
throw-
Oh no,
I'm
you
just
don't
kidding.
want to do that.
No,
bro.
I'm just saying, but I'm just kidding. But yeah, when you're like
Abuse.
in the heat of the moment, you actually once you cool down, you think about it for a sec. You're like, oh, I did not know that about them or me or thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because when you're usually flying solo, you're only worried about yourself and like how you think. But when you add another person to the equation, it helps you understand not only yourself but them as a person too.
Right.
Because a lot of times in a relationship, you won't understand. So say sometimes they point something out to you, like they say, hey, I noticed you do this, blah, blah, blah. And you're like, sometimes obviously that could lead to an argument too. They point out something, but you're like, no, that's not true, blah, 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 right? But then once you cool down, because an argument usually starts, or oftentimes starts when you're heated, mad, angry, all that stuff, and you can't think clearly. It's like the saying's like, don't make decisions based on emotions. Like obviously when you're mad, because an argument usually mad, frustrated, you're not thinking straight. So, but then after an argument's done, for example, like say you're done with like the thing, you're like, okay, let's cool down for a bit, figure it out together, and then once you cool down, you sit down, you're more clear in mind. It's like post nut clarity, you know. You're more clear. You're thinking straight again. You're like, man, that was really dumb. Like what, you know what I mean? It's like, so that's why but then it helps you understand yourself better as a person. Because think about it, if I point out, say, hey man, the way you eat like that, it's not
appropriate.
It's not appropriate. But then you're like, but then in your head, you're like, what the fuck is she talking about? Like, I've been eating like this all my life, you know? It's like, you know, so you don't understand that it might be disrespectful to another person. So then, but by now, them pointing it out to you,
right,
you try to not really change it, but adjust to it to make it more reasonable. So that's why some arguments can lead to personal growth within the couple. Like you learn more about each other
right,
through that way. Yeah, I'm not saying like some arguments are just so heated that it does get to a point where it gets dangerous. We're not talking. That is not worth it. And any of those arguments are not worth it. Where you get extremely heated and it gets extremely dangerous. Like physical violence, no. You know,
no, physical, yeah.
So that goes back to our topic today. So in which arguments do you think it's worth it, and which ones are not worth it?
Ooh. You know, before, before like we got engaged, like when we were like dating and stuff like that. Before, like it was like half and half. Like there's some that was not worth it, but there's some that was worth it. But now, you know, after engaged, getting married, I feel like any arguments that we have, it's worth it for me.
Yeah.
Because, you know, before I was thinking negative, you know.
Yeah.
But now I'm thinking like, okay, so if I get a comment, you know, or concerns, feelings, you know, I take that and I'm, you know, thinking, okay, what should I do to improve? You know, how should I understand, you know, her? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, what can I do to make her happy? Just helps you learn to understand. You know, it helps you to know how she feels, what she's thinking.
Yeah.
You know, what she is struggling, you know, like, yeah, so that's some things, you know, like, I feel like our arguments are worth it. That's what I think, bro.
All your arguments are worth it?
I feel like it, yeah.
Interesting.
Every arguments we have, I feel like, you know, I couldn't be a better person type of thing.
Yeah.
You know, and then at the same time, after the argument, you know, like, trying to make her feel better, you know, comfort her, you know. That's another key thing, too. You know, after the argument is over, it's not over. You know, you have to comfort the person. Yeah, you know.
Obviously, got to make peace with each other.
No, yeah, that too, yeah.
That's literally the whole point. Like, that's the resolution. You want to be able to understand each other at the end.
Of course, yeah.
So for me, I feel like, to go back to the question, it's like, which arguments are worth it versus which one? The ones that are worth it is the ones that help you grow. Be like, say, for example, it's like, if they point out like, hey, I noticed you're like playing games too much, you know what I mean? Like, I think you should get off. Like, okay, that's understandable. It's like, obviously, you shouldn't be stuck playing games all day. I mean, that'd be kind of nice. I'll be honest, that would be kind of nice, but there is a limit to it too, you know what I mean?
Hey, that was before, bro. Not anymore, man.
No, I would still, I would still do this. Some days I'd be like, no, I'm just gonna take the day off. Don't bother me. Don't do anything. I'm just gonna sit here.
Depends on the situation.
Yeah, but like stuff like that, like pointing out certain things that could, I say, obviously, I'm not saying video games ruin your life, but like too much of it can ruin your life. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, but like pointing out stuff like, if she is trying to help you out, trying to improve you, but you don't think it's a problem, now that's a problem. You know what I mean? But like if she's telling you certain things, it might be out of your best interest. Yeah, but then I think those are worth it. Trying to like self-improvement. Those kind of arguments where you try to learn about each other is worth it. The ones I don't think is worth it is the one that's a waste of time. You know what I mean? Like the ones where it's like the ones that like just make absolutely no sense.
You didn't fix your shirt?
Yeah, I mean, that's also like telling you like trying to like help you out. You know what I mean? Like, oh, your shirt's a little messed up. Let's just fix it up. You know, make it look better. So that's self-improvement right there. But like the ones that are just make absolutely no sense. So like just for example, it's like, so you barely got home, right? And you didn't close the garage.
Mm-hmm.
Be like, hey, why didn't you close the garage? I'd be like, I just got home. Give me a second, you know, like chill out. It will be closed because that does limit or like obviously leaving the garage open
Right.
is a dangerous thing. But like, hey, chill out. I just got home. Like just hold it up, you know. I'll take care of it. Like certain ones. I can get a better example.
No, I mean the garage one was a good example, but like you know,
Like there's a lot of fuck. Point. All right, like, for example, you make a mistake, right? So okay, so way back in the day, so this one, so imagine this. All right, so my girl calls me up. She tells me, hey, can you grab ranch from the store? And I'm like, all right, cool. All right, and I go to get ranch, but my dumbass wasn't really paying attention. I don't know if this ever happened to you. You get sent to the grocery store to buy a certain thing, but then you buy the things that aren't needed. You know what I mean? Like one time I was sent out to buy ranch. I bring it home, and I just grabbed a random bottle because you know they're all ranch. Like Hidden Valley Ranch is all green bottle, green cap, and I just grabbed a random one, scanned it. All right, I was like, cool. Let me go on my way. I bring it home, and she looks at, yo, you know this is not the regular ranch. This is some. It was like a weird ranch, and I was like, what's the difference?
like a dressing. Right?
Yeah. No, ranch is a dressing.
It's a dressing, but which one did you get?
It was normal ranch, but mixed with something else, and it's just like,
oh, okay.
This is not what I wanted, though. And I was
okay.
like, but my dumb ass was like, but it's just ranch, you know? That's stupid, because obviously that was my fault. I was like, yo, instead of me trying to argue with her, that kind of argument is kind of stupid. I'd be like, oh shit, my bad. Let me just take it and bring it back. But then in my head, it's like, man, what the fuck? Why I do this? It's just a waste of time. But it was my mistake to begin with, so I should have just sucked it up and like, you know, let me just go return it. I mean, I obviously did, but like, it took a while for me, like, gotta take it back now. You know, it's because in my head it's a waste of time. Like that kind of argument, it's a waste of time.
But you know, at the same time, I think it's for it's kind of because like now you're wasting more time.
Yeah. So like
go back. So it's kind of like you gotta understand that part. But like that happened to me. So.
All right, hold up. I don't know if anyone's ever done this. Like your girl sends you out to buy something at the grocery store, and you go there. But then you buy everything but the things that she asked for. And you come home with the randomest shit. And then she's like, what the fuck is this?
But I think for me it was a different situation.
Yeah.
It was a groceries, but that's why one tip is you have to pay attention to every single thing. Because I went to the groceries and I was trying to buy ingredients because we were making a beef stew.
Yeah.
Right? And I was like, okay. And then, she sent me her recipe and she sent me her list, right?
Yeah.
Like, just additional like notes that she wants me to know. So I'm going to use your word. My dumb ass.
Yeah, there you go.
So, so what happened was this. She put the notes, right?
Yeah.
So I only bought the ones that's on the notes.
Oh my God.
But then the recipe shows the highlighted part.
Yeah.
So I didn't pay attention. Like she didn't write like you have she didn't write. She just verbally told me like you have to buy something that's highlighted.
But you only paid.
But I only paid attention to the notes. So when I came home, I think and I didn't even realize it too until I came home.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh shit.
You bought everything but the thing you need.
But the highlighted part.
I think it might be a guy thing, to be honest. That's same thing with my dad too. Sometimes he'd be sent to the grocery store, come back with everything but the things we needed.
Yeah, so like, well, my wife got mad.
Yeah.
I understood her because now I had to waste more time to go over there. And that's going to delay even more. Not only that, because, if I knew better, like, I could have paid more attention, but I didn't pay attention to that, So, yeah, I felt bad. I had to go back, and then I had to get the ingredients, and then I came here.
Yeah, so basically, in that moment, you grew as a person because now you pay attention to everything.
Yeah.
So I guess that worked out in the
sometimes you might slip. Sometimes there's times when like you just go back to your old habits, and sometimes you just do the same mistake. But. That's not an excuse, you know what I mean? So,
I mean, at the end of the day, we're all human, man. We make mistakes.
Yeah, we make mistakes, but at the same time, if you think about, the person you love, then, I mean, I know it's tough.
It's better to grow as a couple than by yourself, to be honest with you. So, I mean, like, obviously, now that maybe we helped you guys out understand, like, an argument, obviously it's dumb because you're both emotional, you're mad, frustrated, angry, sad at that moment. But then once you guys talk it out, you'll understand each other a lot better.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Because it's different to from with your friends. Obviously, when you argue with your friends, it's probably stupid too, but you kind of grow with each other. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like obviously with friends, it's a little more different because you can throw hands with them too. You can like knock each other out, but like obviously in a relationship, like a guy to girl relationship or whatever, you obviously don't want to get physical. You know, that's
No,
not the
no,
way it
yeah.
should be. But I seriously think like some arguments in a relationship do grow or do help you grow as people, like as a
Right.
couple.
Everybody's
What's up?
everybody's argument, like the way how people argue is different.
Yeah.
Then some people want to, like do like a conversation. Some people wants to,
Throw up
scream,
hands.
throw up hands,
Yeah,
gang
yeah.
sign.
No, no. Not that kind of hands, bro.
Or some people likes to like like scream at each other. Some people likes to do a physical.
Yeah.
Like it depends on the couple. But
Yeah.
at the end of the day, you just have to understand.
Yeah.
You just
I mean, it's better to grow together, you know?
Mhm.
That's like the beauty of life. Learning.
That's important.
Yeah, learning to grow with each other versus
that
against
sugar.
each other. Yeah, bro, you gotta stop doing that. No, but it's better to learn and grow as a couple because that's how you grow as people.
Yeah.
Yeah, because then you learn better or learn more about each other. You learn about how to handle things better because all your life when you grow up, you're usually by yourself. Everything you say or do is for yourself.
Right.
But then in a relationship, it's no longer about just you. It's more about what I need to do as a to be a better person in that relationship. You know, it's usually better to be happy than like frustrated.
No, yeah, of course.
Yeah,
of
so-
course.
Well, that's it for us. I hope you guys enjoy that one and try not to get physical in arguments and hopefully you guys grow as people when it comes to arguments.
Learn, guys.
Yep.
Learn.
We'll see you guys on the next one.
Peace.
Peace.